What is up, world? Welcome back, Charge the Game podcast. And you guys already saw the title. The Indiana Fever are going to be faced with some tough decisions from three of their players that are on these 7-day contracts, guys. In my honest opinion, I think that it may be smart to retain all three, simply because Caitlin Clark should sit out the rest of the season. I know that a lot of fans don't like that, but let's be honest, these reports are going to continue to allude, right? Notice I put it in air quotes, allude, right? Because that's what's happening. Every game you see, is Caitlin Clark going to return? And then you see a practice video of her at shoot-arounds. And guys, like, we just got to be open and honest with ourselves at this point. Is it worth Caitlin Clark coming back? Right? Is it worth her coming back? Barring that she's been out of sync with the team, Coach White's playing style. We're going to get into that plus more, but let's get into this report. Now we know that Chloe Bibby, guys, as you see here, is safe from being released should Caitlin Clark return. And there's little doubt that they love to have Clark back in the lineup, especially if the team who is currently sitting at the 6th seed could clinch a playoff spot, right? Having one of their biggest player makers would especially be important, but White has been upfront about the team not rushing her back, which, let's be honest, man, part of me really thinks that Coach White, you know, she kind of likes being the coach without Caitlin Clark, who is a player's coach, kind of like LeBron James is. Obviously, there's been a little bit of headbutting with the playing styles and whatnot, and you know, I think it was more of an ego war between Caitlin Clark and Coach White. Unfortunately, Caitlin Clark got injured, and Coach White has been ruler of the throne, so to speak, right? So she has her own style of play that has been working for the most part with the Indiana Fever in the lineup in the rotations. Some games are a bit questionable, don't get me wrong. But this is why I keep telling you guys it doesn't make sense, because they're going to pretty much have to break all of the offensive schemes down to allow Caitlin Clark to come in and do her thing. And at this point, do you really want a lot of the tension back with this team? I don't know, guys. It's a lot of working factors that go into Caitlin Clark's return, but we all know that she's good for the league. It's just a rock and a hard place for the Indiana Fever. But at the end of the day, it's still a no-brainer if Caitlin Clark is healthy. Now that, guys, itself leaves the three players here in question: Odyssey Sims, Shea Petty, and Aerial Powers. Should Caitlin Clark return, who do you think should make the cut and or who should be released? Okay, me personally, I am happy that Chloe Bibby is safe, because she is a great backup to Caitlin Clark. Really is. In my opinion, guys, I don't know. I'm holding on to Sims and Powers, and probably okay with Shea Petty. Now, people can have their mix and matches on who they want to work, but at the end of the day, this is a tough conversation and a tough decision because of the work that these women have put in already. Even though Aerial Powers is new, man, I love her grit. I like the feistiness. I love, the attitude that comes with her. I really do. Sims finishing off the Seattle Storm with 22 points showed her dominance. I mean, for her to be so fresh, that showed me right then and there that any team would benefit from her, honestly. So that's why I would keep Sims. Okay, I like what I saw. I like what I've been seeing, and I think that she's just really just now getting into her 7-day contract. So we could see a lot more than beyond the Seattle Storm game, in my opinion. Shea Petty, to me, even though she had a nice debut against the Minnesota Lynx, I think she went like 3 for 3, right? A decent percentage, guys. Well, really a good percentage from the field. Don't get me wrong. But I also feel like we just haven't really seen enough, right? And we also have what we call a dilemma, right? There's just too much good talent for different areas. So you just kind of have to weigh out the differences and who would benefit the most playing alongside Caitlin Clark. And she would benefit as a spot-up shooter, as somebody who can create space and get their own shot. But you also have to think about the main core that's intact already with Mitchell and figuring out the pieces alongside that. right? Now let's talk about my girl Area Powers, man. I like Area Powers and the veteranship that she brings, right? Sydney Colson was kind of the same way. So it was an easy, no-brainer pickup for the team. That veteranship, that aggressiveness, that attitude, that mindset. The only thing that would really stand in her way would probably just be that they thoroughly haven't secured in like a postseason seeding or spot, finalized at least. And they're going to need a lot of offensive power if they are aiming to make a deep run. And with everything we've seen from Area Powers thus far, it just kind of leaves you scratching your head. Like exactly like what would be the need, guys? Like what would be an emergency for us to use Area Powers in the playoffs alongside Caitlin Clark or just in general the second unit? And that's where she may be the weakest link. But I also see the plus side. That veteranship can come in handy. Knowing when to take an offensive foul or bait other players into making decisions that could put points on the board on the other end of the court. You're going to need all of that because in the moment, with that experience she has, it can come in handy. So it's just one of those things, man. It's a tough decision. I vote keep Area Power. Some people want to release Area Power. Some people want to keep Shea. Some people want to release Shea. Some people want to keep Sims. Some people want to release Sims. This is all predicated on Caitlin Clark's return. This is why I want to keep all three, because I don't see Caitlin Clark coming back. I just don't get it. Why they won't say it, I'm sure, as I've alluded to in a lot of my videos, is probably because it's not good for the game to just flat out say it. I think that Caitlin Clark has officially done with the season, no matter how it looks, guys. If Caitlin Clark is ready to go, as close as we are to the playoffs, I believe Caitlin Clark will be out there ramping up. 1 minute they making a video saying that, hey, looks like she's looking good. You know, we're putting her through slow workouts. I think it's all for publicity. I think it's to keep the Fever fans engaged. And then you'll see another video come out the next day where Coach White will say things like, don't really want to rush her back. You know, letting her take her time. She's getting, you know, advice from experts on her injury. And then you have Sophie Cunningham who will come out and say something like, if this wasn't the WNBA, Caitlin Clark would be playing. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? But we're going to keep playing a game of wait. Going to keep playing this, you know, hopeful, optimistic approach with Caitlin Clark's injury. But what do you guys think? Who should the Fever hold on to in Caitlin Clark's return? And who is the one person that they should release? Because right now, I do believe that if Caitlin Clark returns, that will put them over the 11 or 12 player roster. So they're going to have to cut one person. And honestly, if they were to cut one of these players, I would probably be a little happy because it's guaranteed that Caitlin Clark will come back then. There's no way you're going to cut these players if Caitlin Clark, or one of these players, if Caitlin Clark isn't to return. So is this something? Is this nothing? Is this just speculation? Y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think. I'm a bit perplexed. What say you? Thank you guys so much for watching. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button if you have not. I will see you in the next one. Peace.